really bad weather, so then like I don't make it to the gym, and then I feel like stuck in
Mhm.
this like loop. Um and I don't know if I mentioned, but I was in like a really toxic job last year, and I left that job, and I had a dream about a coworker from there like last week.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
so I feel like that was another sign of like,
Interesting.
reminder, like don't regress.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, time to get back on the horse. Well, how much of the live were you in last night?
I think I caught all of it.
Okay, so what did you think about the part that probably resonated with where you were at when the one lady asked a question about consistency, and then we kind of talked about like willpower and things, and there,
Yeah.
or what thoughts came up as we were talking about that.
Um
Like
yeah,
as it
I think
related to what you were describing.
yeah, I think it's just like small steps
Yeah.
um lead to bigger habits. So um
Hmm.
yeah, the I feel like that's kind of what happened with me, of like I was on it every day, and then once I like took a break, that was it. Like that ruined everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they say, 21 days to make a habit, and 90 days to solidify it.
Mhm.
So what was what is the personal benefit of like getting back on that consistent, more consistent, disciplined path? How would you personally benefit from that?
I think it benefits me in every way. Like it just puts me in a better mood, and then I feel like I'm making progress, and then it's like a catalyst to motivate me to work on like try to achieve more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's what are some of the big, like maybe like one or two of the biggest things about yourself you're wanting to change? And then what's like one or two of the biggest things right now that you're wanting to like generate within yourself, like qualities or aspects um, that you're wanting to build and cultivate, strengthen?
I definitely want to work on like meditation and doing yoga and things like that to just cultivate more growth. And I think also I've been wanting to spend more of my time like volunteering
Mm-hmm.
and giving back.
Nice, nice. How often do you meditate right now?
Honestly, I haven't been. I think like I've just been struggling with like every time I've started, like I'll fall asleep.
Mm, okay, yeah. So going too far within, withdrawing the attention from the senses a little too much. Okay. Um, what I would suggest then is how long do you usually meditate when you like when you sit down and meditate? How long do you intend to sit?
At least like for 30 minutes.
Okay, all right, and then like just a rough guess, like how far in do you think it is when you start to fall asleep?
Yeah, maybe around like the 20-minute mark.
Okay, all right. Um, you're meditating for 30 minutes, and I was going to suggest maybe not necessarily. Okay. When you fall asleep, like what? Maybe just walk through like what your experience is from like within one of your meditations. Like what is kind of walk through what you experience.
I think the guidance you gave really helped because it's more effective for me when I'm able to like focus on a body part or that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it gets hard for me to just sit and like clear my mind. Like I feel like, my thoughts are racing or
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's what I would suggest because the nature of the mind is motion, and so part of that feel the body technique is one thing that it does is it gives your mind something to occupy it with, and so that kind of frees up yourself. But if you're going for like 30 minutes meditation, because that's more for like someone kind of like 10-15 minutes or something. But if you're going for meditation, I think you'll get a lot more out of doing an Om chant. So AUM, Om, and the byproduct of that, of why you would do that, is just going to make you a more powerful creator. You'll be able to manifest things faster and more powerful.
Mhm.
But so AUM, and just and you'll want to draw it out. Like when you're sitting there, and you'll just do that for the whole. I mean, start out your meditation however you do, maybe with a breathing exercise, relaxing, tensing and relaxing of the body, or however whatever practice you want to do to kind of get into your meditation. I mean, me personally, I also like we'll pray for 5 to 10 minutes, but I mean, but it's like 5 minutes, just talking to my higher self, my spirit, my superconscious mind, um, about different things, and my real self, even beyond the superconscious. Um, I kind of start with the superconscious and then work my way up. But anyways, do that. But then once you're actually ready to go into the meditation, or if you don't do that, I would suggest implementing it. Um, and the reason I suggest that, I'm pausing for a second, is the reason that I suggest that if you're not doing it, or if you are doing it, a deeper understanding of um, what effect that has as far as the metaphysical mechanics of it. And maybe you already know this, but the the I don't know. I don't really like to say the word prayer because of the way that word's already charged, and the perspective that it paints for most of us because of how it's mostly used. But I mean, it is what it is. Thoughts for your higher self. And but anyways, when you do that, that is a way to one exhaust the thoughts within the conscious mind, and also it's a form of sending energy deeper into your mind, and then that kind of has like a rubber band effect, a buoyancy effect, to create more space to receive energy from that part of your mind. Because for me, meditation is um, for the most part. I mean, I have specific meditations, but when I'm just like generally meditating, um, expectant listening, you know, placing my mind in a receptive state to then receive the thoughts from my higher mind, my superconscious mind, to create space for them to come into my conscious mind and receive more, connection, guidance, and direction from, my superconscious mind, my spirit, and or my real self through the superconscious mind. So that is one of the major byproducts of that. But to get back to um, the Om chant, you're in doing this, the AUM, I just want to make that clear. Um, it one will create a vibration within your spine. So it'll be having a very physical effect on your body. Because like if you do you feel that like more at the base of your spine. Ooh, you feel the vibration more in your chest. You feel it in your head. And as you transition through that, uh, you'll be shifting your energy. You will be causing your energy to rise up more, kind of like the exercise we talked about in the last life force exercise, or life force lesson, and the exercise in that of raising your energy up, causing your energy to go into an upward motion versus how it's naturally, gravity is pulling it down. So it'll also cause that to happen. It'll stimulate that, and it'll stimulate the meridians and the energy centers within throughout your entire spine, all of your chakras. And the reason for that is it'll also stimulate the kundalini, which we'll get into with the chakra light and life force lessons. But that's why it will also create more powerful manifestations for yourself, because kundalini energy is your most powerful creative energy. And so doing this, it will kind of like give your conscious mind something to do. It'll kind of occupy your conscious mind so that you can then, get into more things. So for a while, like the first 5-10 minutes, your mind will really be on you chanting. But after a while, it'll kind of like take over on its own and free you up to then actually, meditate more. First you'll be kind of like keeping your attention on it to cause it to keep going. Then there'll be a moment where you shift into like a more observational mode where you're just like watching it happen, and then you're able to kind of go deeper into your mind. So it kind of like like a parent, giving their kid something to occupy it so they can get something done. You know, yeah, I guess nowadays mostly it's like a tablet or something. But it's that's one kind of thing that you can do to help um like keep from falling asleep without having to take a step back or anything, without having to dial back from like 30 minutes to 15 or 20 minutes until you get a regular practice of it, and then go back up to 30 minutes. That'd probably be like the other suggestion, but this is definitely something that's where you can still maintain like a 30-minute practice, and and have a much deeper experience. And maybe I mean, test it out yourself. Maybe after 15 or 20 minutes, you stop the chant. I mean, me, whenever I do this, I only really do the chant for like 5-7 minutes, um, and then I get into my prayer, and then do everything. But this will have it'll have, like, other than the purpose of why it came to my mind to suggest it, there are a lot of other valuable things that'll happen in addition to what I said. Um, it'll start to increase the frequency of your body, and of your mind, and that'll have major effects as well. Because our outer reality is a reflection of our inner reality. So if you're raising the vibration of your being and your consciousness, then you are going to be raising the vibration of the experiences that you have. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for sure. I'm open to trying that.
Yeah, yeah. Just try it out, see what happens, and see if it helps. And if not, you can always just try something else. Yeah, awesome.
Definitely.
What about anyone else? What has anyone else kind of been experiencing this month, and maybe learning about themselves this month? Guys look
Boom,
like
there we go.
he on
Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I was gonna say, you look like you trying to stay anonymous on a show on Dateline. You an anonymous witness on
Ooh.
Dateline. No, I'm playing.
Mhm.
I had a
Okay,
meeting
let
at
me
work
see.
earlier today, and I was looking like that. Inside the window behind me.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. I do look kind of dark.
Well, it's just like the
Eh,
silhouette because the
it's
window's
okay.
behind you.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me see. I say just reflections for me. It's really what I've been doing for the past few days. Before the
Yeah,
reflections, I was really going hard. Ooh, was really going hard, being extra disciplined. And then after that phase, I was just doing reflections. Now I'm trying to get that discipline back. So it's basically it for me right now.
Yeah, yeah. How's that 40-day ego exercise going?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It went phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Hmm. I wonder, was there anything very, very great that I've learned in there? Oh, yeah, my ego. I learned that I learned why it's here. I learned what it's here for. And what else? What else? I'm still trying to figure
Beautiful.
out. No,
Beautiful.
I don't think it has a form. Hmm. But yeah, this is basically it. I learned two major things about it that helps me become more of a master of myself.
Hmm. Hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful. So what
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Welcome. What do you feel it is here for? Like what is the benefit of the ego, at least for you and your relationship?
Mhm. Okay. I feel as if I used this scenario like two times, so I might be a little iffy on it. But
Yeah, yeah, it's all right.
it's like ego is like stairs. It's like stairs that's meant to be climbed, and once you fully climb those stairs, you'll gain access to a new realm, to new possibilities, to more enlightenment. And the stairs, when you're walking up the stairs, you should begin to clean the stairs and also to watch your step of the stairs. It's basically what I think my ego is here for. It's meant as a key, as a sort, a key for me to master myself fully. And once when
Hmm.
I use that key, I can unlock higher states of being. So yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. And so in what you're saying, you know, you're desiring to be someone who is more masterful over the aspects of themselves, like the body, the
Yep.
mind, the emotions, um, the ego. And so how how do you see yourself now in relation to making it to that end goal?
Hmm. I see myself now as I don't even know if I can say the same person. I'm more
Mhm.
calm, conservative, and aware of my actions. Also more aware of my driving factor and why I do things, and I'm also paying way more attention to the things that I do, and also why I do them. So
Mhm.
there's that. I'm basically just more aware.
Yeah, nice, nice. So and that's the thing with your ego is um the continual relationship with it is really of your own self identity. How you're seeing yourself. A lot of people will talk about ego, and a lot of times come from this perspective uh, to help people understand. But a lot of times people think of it as like how other people are seeing them and things. But that's because most of us see ourselves or try to see ourselves or end up seeing ourselves through the eyes of other people. If I do this, how will other people see me? If I don't do this, how are people going to look at it? What are people going to think about me if I do this or don't do this? And really the ego relationship with the ego is how you ultimately see yourself, whether it's from a perspective of really what am I going to think about myself if I do this? How am I going to view myself? Who am I going to think that I am if I act like this or don't act like this, or do this or don't do that, or think like this or don't think like that, and so right now, that's how you see yourself, as someone that's making a lot of progress on this path headed towards this goal. And you're going towards wanting to be someone who has attained that level of understanding, that state of being that resonates at that frequency. And so your
Mhm.
ego and really your desire to be that person is what gives the fuel to the ego. I identify as this and I want to identify as that. I want to be that. I am this now. And it's a continual relationship because even when you get to there, by the time you get to there, you're going to see that position the same way you see your current position, because it's all continual and gradual. It's going to be a passing moment that you've been creeping up on for a while. Like right now, where you are right now, a year ago was like, man, I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to be that person.
Mhm.
I can't wait to operate in that way. And you probably even beyond what you thought might have been capable a year ago today, So, but here you are now in the present moment, and it's just still an everyday thing. It's still just the natural and you're still looking far ahead of I want to be there, And so that's why I mean like the relationship with the ego is a continual thing, Like even 2 months ago, before you started this exercise that you generated, you're probably in a totally different space in how you're seeing yourself because of that, But here you are now in the present moment,
Yeah, all the
not
way.
really even seeing it that way because you're still looking at more places to go, more things to achieve, more ways to evolve and grow. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Mm. Ooh, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I still got myself two
Welcome.
more challenges before I finally move on to the physical. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
I can hear. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Everybody
Oh,
hear me?
oh, 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 okay, okay, okay. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you the whole time.
Okay, I'm just getting delayed reactions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Let me get to the point. Man, I don't know what's going on. I might be tripping. You just keep saying the same thing. Okay, but anyway, the two challenges are first 30 days of chakras and healing. I want to fully activate all of my seven major chakras, and I want to get into activating my minor chakras inside of my body, so then I can further and move on and grow to where I, for the next 30 days after that, it's going to be the lucid dreaming and astral projection challenge. See how many of them I can get. Well, no, 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 not seeing that. Me getting there first, and then after that, maintaining that. That's
Mhm.
what those two are gonna lead up to. And then after that, I'm finally gonna work on getting me millions of dollars. I'm about to be rich. Let you know that right now.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's a good game plan. One thing to remember though, and I was going to be touching on this next week,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people talk about like chakra activation and things like that. I mean, your chakras are already activated. You know what I mean? And so it's not anything about um, needing to like turn them on like a light switch. Like man, I need to figure out how to turn on these chakras. I mean, people talk about how connected they are, how powerful they are, what all they do. I need to turn these motherfuckers on. they're already working. Um, you may have more energy centers that are more that have more energy flowing through them, and some that may be flowing like a creek, that need a little more attention, and things like that. Or all of them, you know, needing a little, maybe you're desiring for each one of your chakras to be even more powerful and have even more energy flowing through them, But and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not saying this to say, anything wrong with what you said, but just to help you to have a more clear perspective of what's going on and what you're desiring.
Wow. That's just so true though. That's actually
Yeah.
so true. Wow.
Yeah, because I mean,
Mm.
if your brow chakra wasn't working, you wouldn't even be remember no dreams. If you needed to activate
Yeah.
it, your heart chakra wasn't activating, your immune system would be shut down.
Mm, yeah.
You would have no immune system if your heart chakra wasn't working. So it's but so that's just one thing that I would be touching on next week, just because that is a big thing that a lot of people. Oh, it's I gotta unblock all my chakras. That's another thing people say instead of activate. I gotta unblock all my
Oh,
chakras. I gotta figure out which one of my chakras is
mhm,
blocked. You know what I mean? And yeah, there are different different things and ways we use our energy sometimes to where it does make one chakra, not really have um as much energy flowing through it. Like I said, instead of like a river, it's more like a little creek. And so, but it's not necessarily like, oh man, my chakras are closed and I need to open them, kind of thing. Like the energy's still flowing. It's just you need more attention. Energy flows where the attention goes. So you need more attention on this one versus the others. You're giving more attention to this one versus the others. If like a lot of people like us, we probably already have a lot of energy flowing through our top three chakras, our throat chakra, bowel chakra, crown chakra, and things, but there's probably a lot of people that we know or see in life that they don't really have a whole lot of anything flowing through those three chakras. I mean, most everything flowing through they bottom two chakras, you know, and so because they're mostly using their energy for more physical and lower minded things, and so those are the energy. That's where most of their using most of their energy. So that's where most of their energy is flowing through, are these lower centers. But it's just
mhm,
how you're using your energy and how you're moving your energy and how much energy you have to disperse between these seven major centers and hundreds of other energy centers. So having more energy would make it more possible to have more energy flowing through all of the other centers. And so it's just about how you are moving your energy, what you're doing with your energy, and making it a more conscious thing than just unconscious thing of just how it's already kind of naturally flowing. So like I said, just kind of sharing that to help you shift your perspective so that you can better approach, what you're wanting to do. And it sounds like these lessons are right on time then, if that's your next step. Where are you practicing the concentration exercise? Like what or what concentration practice are you practicing regularly?
okay. One that I am practicing regularly is, can I call that one? I'd say, wait. This is hard. No, it's not hard. Okay, one that I'm practicing regularly, I'll say, is basically clearing my mind, keeping an open
Mm-hmm.
mind to what others say, and clearing my mind in the gist of the moment, or controlling my emotions and myself. It's just anytime I don't try. Anytime I get negative thoughts, I just concentrate on something that I do want. And there's that, and there's me concentrating on things that I want or pay attention to, like my teachers or you. But I haven't done a candle exercise anytime recently.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Do you have,
In
other
the
than the
field
candle
of
exercise,
body technique.
do you have any type of exercise where you're like, okay, for these next 10 minutes, I'm only doing this?
Oh, yeah, a lot. Okay, yeah. Let me think. For one,
I just mean, I don't know
there's
if you have
working
like
out.
a specific exercise,
Hmm.
whether it's the
Or
candle or
specific
not,
exercise.
that you're like specific. I'm solely doing this to increase my concentration.
Oh, well,
And if
no,
not, that's
not to
fine.
solely increase my concentration.
Okay. I mean, I would highly suggest, like I say all the time, you guys can do whatever exercises you want. Don't do whatever you want.
Hmm.
But in you stating that that's what you're desiring and working with your energy,
Hmm.
I mean, it's going to be vital in, in order to have a stronger concentration. If you want to have more control over your energy, you have to have more control over your attention. Just like I said, energy flows where the attention goes. What you put your attention on grows. So if you want to grow and strengthen those chakra centers, you need to put your attention on those chakra centers. If you want to direct your energy and how it flows, then you need to have more control over your energy or over your attention and direct where your attention goes and flows and where it stays. And so you can only do as good with the chakra and life force energy as you are with your attention. So if that's something that you're desiring, then I mean it's vital to also make sure that you're increasing your concentration every day. You know. And maybe it's not 10 minutes, maybe it's just 5 minutes. But and maybe it's not a candle, maybe you just grab a blade of grass and you sit there and look at the tip of the blade of grass. Make it something, make it anything. It doesn't have to be the same object every day, but just every day, have a specific moment where not like working out. Okay, I'm going to work out and I'm going to use my concentration while I'm working out to give my attention to the muscles I'm trying to isolate and really put my attention on it. That's great. And that's going to increase your concentration. Let me while I'm talking with this person have a conversation with them. Let me, after I'm done speaking my words and they're now speaking their words, let me give their words all of my attention and really receive what they're saying to me. And that's great. That's going to increase your concentration. Implementing your concentration and the power of your attention into the other things you're doing within your life is wonderful. But if you're wanting to progress in this way, in this specific way with the chakras, one of the best things that you could do is continue to maintain a specific exercise just for concentration. Like footwork. Peyton Manning had some of the best footwork of any quarterback. He wasn't very athletic at all. He was maybe one of the least athletic quarterbacks of all time that played in the NFL. He's one of the smartest, but you still have to be somewhat athletic to play a professional sport at a national sport at professional level, especially football. But the reason he was able to do that was his footwork. He has some of the best footwork in the league. Even on the very last game that he played, he still went out and spent, 20, 30 minutes working on just his footwork before the game. I mean, that was his last game after, 20 something year career and, well, maybe like 18-year career. And he ended up winning. It was the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's the Super Bowl. He just played a whole season. You would think, I mean, your footwork's fine, man. This is your last game. One more little 20 minutes of working on your footwork ain't going to do nothing for you. You're like, your footwork is solid, but he still knows and understands, yes, but I still need to continue to improve from, wherever I was at yesterday with footwork. I need to be at an even higher level than that to make sure that I attain this goal of winning the Super Bowl. I mean, and I'm going to do this every step of the way, along the way, the whole way. I'm going to continue to work on my footwork. My footwork's great. All these other drills, I'm using my feet in all these other drills. The passing drill, the drop back drill, the handoff drill. I'm still using my feet, so my footwork's getting better anyways. But I'm still going to focus 20 minutes on just footwork. Even though all these other drills are still helping my footwork, I'm still going to focus on that. And so I just kind of paint that picture to help you see, like, if you're your desire and your own progression that you've already made is going to get you far. You're going to achieve what you want and what you're going after. But if you do implement a concentration exercise that's specifically dedicated to concentration each day, you'll get there a lot faster and you'll achieve a lot more. And that's all I'm saying. Well, I guess he can catch whatever he might have missed in the recording. I thought he froze out a minute ago, but I want to finish what I was saying. So he can catch it on the recording. I'm sure it'll pop back in. But I don't know if Carrie, if you're available to speak or not, or if you're just kind of in and receiving, which is fine, totally fine as well. But yeah, at least want to give you a space to share if you like. Or if you can't, that's fine too. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some dream interpretation because we got a lot of dreams here. A lot of dreams. Okay. So I found the space where I left off last time. At work, but I just been trying to listen in. Okay, that's what I figured, but I didn't want to assume, so I just wanted to at least give you the space and opportunity just in case. Yeah, I figured you was at work. All right, beautiful. So, where we left off here, Kev shared something. Was it the second or? Yeah, you're welcome. Very welcome. 27, 17. Oh, you know what? It would have, I'm tripping. The first would have been a lesson, and 22nd. 22nd. Okay. There we go. Here we go. All right. All right. What does a bridge mean in a dream? You talk about that? Nope. Yeah, let's talk about that. Places and dreams are states of which your consciousness rides in or state of mind. So a bridge, you can clearly see the other side and what's over there without having to experience being over there. Bridges and dreams will mean clear path to accessing different states of mind. Exactly. Exactly. So doorways, doors, bridges are kind of like doors, you know. Um, like a door helps connect, allows you to move from one room to another. But rooms are adjacent; they're very adjacent to each other. So it's kind of like shifting from, like if I'm in school, I need to be able to shift from a productive state of mind to a listening state of mind to an open-minded state of mind, to then it's lunchtime to a kind of outgoing state of mind, and so all of these are kind of related and similar. So it's just walking through like different doorways into rooms of the same house, whereas a bridge is connecting, major spaces, like like I grew up in Cincinnati, so there was all these bridges going from Cincinnati to Covington or Newport, so it's connecting two whole cities. This one bridge is connecting two whole cities. So it's a way of really shifting your mind in a major way like that. So being able to go from like frustration to peace, from sadness to joy, a bigger shift than just like a door. Walking through a door is a whole lot easier than crossing a bridge. We have cars now, but that's the thing. If you want to cross a bridge with a car, you're gonna have to get in the car, get to the bridge, and cross the bridge. Or if you're at the bridge and walking, it's gonna take you a lot longer to walk across the bridge than it is, just to get up and walk into the other room through the door. So it's a lot bigger shift. So just to touch on what Kaz was sharing there. Okay, so glad I finally know what pregnancy dreams mean, because that's what I had last night. Oh wow, it's fascinating. Right on time. So yeah, so what is it you were creating? What new aspect were you creating in yourself? What new aspect are you desiring to create?
I forgot about that, but yeah, just someone more disciplined and like reliability.
Yeah. Do you have any children?
No.
No? Okay. Do you have any like nieces or nephews or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. So so like if you were pregnant in the dream, so like when your siblings were pregnant, or just friends that or just when people are pregnant, I mean you're a woman, so you might know a lot more about it already, even than I would, of course. But I kind of know that like when a woman becomes pregnant, like she wants to be more mindful of like making sure she's getting the proper vitamins and nutrients and things. Like they have all these labels on things, don't do this if you're pregnant, don't take this if you're pregnant, because it's gonna affect the baby, And so that's kind of like the point where you're at with this is, you're still pregnant, so you gotta treat it like a baby. This discipline, you know, you being disciplined, you gotta treat it like a baby, because if you don't do those things, if you don't take these precautions, if you don't start giving this extra care and attention, then it might not make it. And so the same thing with your discipline, aspect that you're building in yourself, going from where you're at right now to being someone who is just naturally a disciplined person. When you go out into the world, people just look like, man, she's so disciplined. She is. And so just building that aspect, and so taking it from the baby in the womb to a full grown adult, it's kind of the goal, right? So
Mhm.
so just be mindful of that and be mindful that you're needing to nurture it and really like right now with the pregnancy, kind of like what I was talking about before, but just refreshing. It's like the point where it's kind of like gestating within your mind. It's not physicalized yet. It's still in the womb of your mind. So it's like it's building more substance. You're thinking about it. Like I mean I've never given birth to any children, so I've never carried a baby inside of me. But I can only assume and only know off of just different experiences of other people. But a woman is going to spend a lot more time thinking about you know that child's life, what kind of life that child is going to have, what kind of life they're going to provide for that child, what kind of adult they're going to form into, what their personality is going to be like, you know what's their gender, what are they gonna aspire to do with themselves, what's their hair color gonna be, you know um people, these are just the things that people think of and think about while the baby's still in the womb. And so the same thing's going on within your mind. It's like what would my life be like if I was more disciplined? What things can I accomplish if I was more disciplined in these ways? So that's kind of like where you're at now. And then so just be mindful of that and how many other pregnancy dreams, like other than this, did any other pregnancy dreams show up in the last month?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, and they might take longer. It might take 9 months before it's birth. It might take just 3 months, maybe just 9 weeks. And so yeah, just be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for, as you do become more discipline and things, and implement that more into your life, incorporate it more into your experiences. Be mindful of being on the lookout for when you start having baby dreams, and there's a baby in your dreams, and a child in your dreams, just, yeah, keep on the lookout on that.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right. That's awesome. The self-awareness, you are better, or you are the better. Oh, that's awesome. The self-aware you are, the better. More self-aware. I had a dream that my mom died and I wasn't there to say goodbye. Oh, wow. This also happened in real life 12 years ago. Oh, wow. Wow. So there is an awareness. So death represents transformation. And so there's an awareness that your superconscious mind, there's the superconscious mind is whole amongst itself. So it's not like the conscious and subconscious mind. So there isn't really any transformation that's going to occur with the superconscious mind. The superconscious mind isn't really changing, um, at least not from the perspective of the conscious mind. This one small physical life versus the eons of the spirit. Um, the soul is thousands of lifetimes, and the spirit is, just as much greater than that. And, anyways, um, the spirit isn't really going to be changing and transforming, but it's our perspective of it. So if a superconscious symbol in a dream is dying, um, then it's going to represent how your understanding of your own spirit and superconscious mind is changing and evolving. The relationship you have with it is changing and evolving. But there's, you weren't there to say goodbye. So there's like also at the same time an awareness that there's not really like there's a disconnect there. There needs to be a closer connection, with your superconscious mind. You miss it, you missed it, and you miss it. And so there's a need to, or a desire at least, to be more connected with your spirit. So yeah, do some breath work, practice some breath work. His is back in the building. He done made it back. He was here for a flash and then was gone. I was saying the rest of what I shared you can catch on the recording. Sure. Yeah, good to see you back. The neighbor's eating up the Wi-Fi. Okay, so how long ago was this dream? If this question is for me, not long. Last night I had 3 different dreams, but I only remember 2 right now. Being back. So and in the neck. Okay. Um,
Here.
there were three guys fighting for me. I knew every one of them. It started out like supposed to be fighting against each other, like a competition. But the guy who was holding the competition, he just ran up and hit me. Oh wow. And it only made one of the three guys who was in the competition for me. Oh, and it only made yeah, and it only made one of the three guys who was in competition for me. Oh, mad. Sorry, it only made one of the guys who was in the competition for me mad. And he spoke up and said, "Y'all just going to stand there and let him do that? And we are all Team Terry now. I'm not just about to stand here and let him get away with it." And he started to go after the guy, and I woke up by alarm. There was a lady who was a doctor and who was supposed to be able to tell people, okay, so this first part of the dream, as we know, it's all about, fighting, fighting with yourself. There's three guys, so three represents creation. So fighting with the things you're using your conscious mind, because they're guys. So there's things that you're trying to create with your conscious mind that you're at odds with, and so to me it seems like one is trying to be productive, but the other is trying to be destructive. Like the one punched you in the face, and then the other is standing up for you. So there's ways in which you're using your conscious mind in constructive ways and productive ways, and ways you're using your conscious mind in destructive ways, breaking things down and going against what you're trying to produce. And not to say that any of this is going on consciously. It's probably unconscious. Like you're using your conscious mind to, like, these are the things that I want. I'm engaging my imagination and visualizing the things that I want. But then at the same time, later in the day, you're unconsciously entertaining beliefs that go against that. You know, um, so it doesn't necessarily always have to be like, beating yourself up over something. It can be as easy as, there's like a battle going on, a struggle going on within your conscious mind, and who's going to come out with what ends up being manifested. Um, So I would definitely pay attention to that. So, with that, pay attention to the times when you're not believing in yourself. You're not believing that something is possible that you're wanting, or you're entertaining, doubt or lack, or you know, poverty or disbelief, or devaluing yourself. Just be mindful when that comes up. Okay, so the next part was there was a lady who was a doctor, super conscious mind, and she was supposed to be able to tell people not only what was wrong with them, but what was to come, almost like a fortune teller. Ah, nice, of course. There were two other girls before me who were getting looked at the first girl. Lady reached for her clipboard and it broke when she grabbed it. Then she tried to read it, but didn't have all her glasses. So I saw her glasses and tried to give them to her. And she said she didn't need them. She went and put on some glasses. But instead of having two lenses to it, or instead of having two lenses, it had one big lens. Oh wow, fascinating. And it looked like a magnifying glass. She then went to put them She then went to put two of her fingers inside of the girl. It really looked to me that she didn't know what she was doing. I knew she was a doctor, but I just knew I didn't trust her. Whatever she did to the girl was in pain and screaming. She told the girl that she didn't know why she couldn't see. She must be pregnant, and that's why she couldn't tell what was wrong. Wow, pregnant dreams already back to back. It's funny. It's funny how that keeps working out. Um, where She told me that she didn't know why she couldn't see. She must be pregnant, and that's why she couldn't tell what was wrong. I thought to myself, this lady is not practicing on me. so, so as she begins to finish up with the first girl, I go looking for clean new linen. As I'm out, she put the other girl in her chair. By the time I come back, I noticed the chair was kind of raggedy and she was using old things. But then, but the next girl is already on the table, and I'm asking her, did she disinfect anything, or did she just put the new cloth for her to lay on? She says she didn't disinfect anything. I said, and that's why she ain't doing shit with me. That lady don't know what she's doing. So the next girl lays, I think you're right because I came here last year. She couldn't even tell me why I was kept passing out, and I was woke up by my alarm. Wow, wow. Okay, so another pregnancy drain. And the doctor, the female doctor represents superconscious mind, an authority figure in your life. You go to the doctor because they're the authority on health. It's like, man, I don't know what's going on. Let me go to the authority doctor. It's going to represent your inner authority, your superconscious mind. And the female principle of the superconscious mind, who remembers what the female principle of the superconscious mind is? What their purpose is? Well, the female
To
purpose
hold
is
the blueprint to your existence.
exactly, exactly. So every part of the mind, conscious, subconscious, superconscious, has a duty and a purpose. The duty, duty are things that you do, right? Things that you do. If you need to do something, then you need to take action. That's an outward activity. You know what I mean? So it's aggressive. The things that you do, aggressively moving out into the world and completing something. So the duty is going to be the aggressive quality of the conscious mind. The duty of the subconscious mind is going to be the aggressive quality of the subconscious mind. The duty of the superconscious mind is going to be the aggressive quality of superconscious, which is to fulfill life force energy for the rest of the mind. But the purpose is a more inward thing. If I say I need you to do something, go make a glass of water. That's an outward activity. You're going to get up, walk to the other room, make a glass of water. If I say, you know, I need you to identify what your purpose is, you need to get up and do anything. It's an inward reflection. Okay, what is my purpose? Oh, I know. The thought already came to mind. That inward activity happened within, not the activity that's going on without. So it's receptive. So exactly what Kez said, the receptive quality of the receptive principle or quality of the superconscious mind is to hold the blueprint for your existence. So the very basic thing that I do anytime a female superconscious symbol shows up in a dream is okay, whatever this dream is trying to tell me is in alignment with my blueprint or my purpose in it. And so that's what's going on. And here's the healing, becoming more whole. And so, um, it all starts out with the glasses, and glasses represent perspective, or spectacles. The spectator perspective. Your perspective is shifting. It's unifying. You know, coming down to the one. One is it didn't have two lenses; it had one, and the one lens, one represents individuality. You know, understanding who you are as an individual, regardless of anything else that's going on in the world, regardless of anyone else in your life. What is going on with you? Who are you? So, what is your perspective on how you see yourself? And is that in alignment with who you truly are? Because there's probably ways that it's out of alignment. Hence the dream before, where you were out of harmony and getting knocked out of alignment. And so um, that's what this part of the dream is about. And the superconscious mind is there's things going on, but you're looking at it and you're, you know, not necessarily judging, but you're looking at it like, man, this lady don't know what she's doing. There's some distrust there. It's like, man, she wasn't disinfecting that. She wasn't doing this. She got some goofy ass glasses for one. you know? And so it's like, man, I ain't trusting her. But the superconscious mind is never going to lead you wrong. The blueprint that you've created for yourself is never going to lead you wrong. Like I said, like conscious and subconscious aspects yeah, you can be like, man, I need to change this. I need to shift this. But the superconscious mind, it doesn't need to change. It's not necessarily that this is something bad. Something bad's going on with superconscious mind. Like I said, it's how you're seeing it, how you're perceiving it. You're the way you're seeing your superconscious mind, your spirit. There's like some mistrust there, which is probably just coming from the misalignment. Needing to open up more, unify more with your spirit. So that's what I would suggest with that is um, breath. So the spirit is breath. So doing some breath work exercises. Um, I've shared with plenty of breathing exercises. So the main thing that I would suggest mostly for this kind of dream is the rhythmic breathing and doing that. Try to do that at least like once a week. With yourself, you can just wait till everybody falls asleep and cut the video on and put your headphones in and just follow along. Or whenever, however, wherever. But just try to, and not even necessarily that exercise. Maybe something else. But do some sort of breathing exercise at least like once a day. Um, and I would suggest the rhythmic breathing at least like once a week. Okay, what does knitting mean in a dream? Well, knitting almost always is going to be represented, or not almost always. At least my understanding of knitting, it's primarily for clothes. So, so one, it's no surprise he's having this dream about knitting because there's always some kind of clothes aspect in her dreams. It seems. So knitting is all about creating and engineering and generating clothing, and so it's evident that you are working on how you're expressing your thoughts and your emotions, how you're expressing yourself, because now it's evolving into putting attention in some kind of way on, because I don't know how the context of it's showing up, but putting some kind of attention on the thoughts that you're generating and preparing to express. You're going a little further back. You're not at the store buying the clothes. You're not in your closet deciding what to put on. You're not at the store buying the clothes. You're not even at the factory, picking up the clothes that were freshly made. You're putting them together yourself. So it's more looking at the origin of what is causing you to express, what is at the root of your expression, thoughts and emotions that are at the root of identifying how you express. What's the cause of how you're expressing? Beautiful, beautiful dream. Curious as to how that's showed up. Okay, so let's see. Chaos told her male's conscious aspects, fighting inner conflict. Exactly. What I see in this first dream is you might almost feel the conflict is out of your control, but you know the root cause of it. So with it, so yeah, there's that duality. Like there's a part of you that is creating the conflict, and then a part of you that is rectifying it. Exactly. So with that knowledge, you can obliterate these entities that's keeping you from being at a homeostasis or a harmony. Yes, yes. Doctor, superconscious mind, he's on it. Glasses, upgraded perception. Huh? Pregnant, newly developing aspect. Hospital, healing state of mind. This dream is telling me you have new developing aspect. You are ready to heal yourself. You're just trying to find the way to, and in doing so, you found new perception. What I will say is this. What I will say is this is some. What I will say is this is something amazing you're doing, and when you find that healing method, go about it wholeheartedly. Beautiful, beautiful. This makes a lot of sense for me. Good. Oh wait. Oh, thank you. Yes, this makes a lot of sense. You're welcome. What does knitting mean? To be honest, I don't really know what knitting is, but if you elaborate more, we can put our brains together and figure it out. Wonderful. Hey, look at the emoji. Or the yeah, perfect. Oh, Betty Robin. No, that's Wilma. Wilma. Nice in the stuff. like this at kids, using thread and needles to make clothing. Oh, thank you. I get it now. Form knitting, function, building on your expression. Oh, he's on it. Beautiful. All right. So Dee Dee says, today I moved in a new house and I slept. Oh, good. For a few hours, and I dreamt that I was in this new room of kind, and this girl, oh, new room of mine, and this girl I don't know, she was helping me call the estate agency because it's too cold in the house. And she called in my behalf. She spoke to someone and she was on hold on my phone. So I kept asking her, what did they say? She was very rude. She kept ignoring me. I got a little upset and I said, what the hell's going on? Why is she not informing me of anything? And we had like the nicest argument. We were nice to each other, but in a sarcastic way. I told her my English is perfect anyway, and I don't need her help. She told me to be nicer, and I told her she should be kinder and nicer. And she left out of my room. Hmm. Hmm. So this is a progression, you know. There are some times where you have fighting, dreams where you're fighting people in your dreams. But this was a very nice. So you're being a lot more gentle with yourself. When you're kind of at odds with yourself, you're being a lot more gentle. The way you're communicating with yourself, it's the telephone, all that communication. So the way in which you're communicating yourself, the thoughts that you are thinking to yourself are being nicer. There is still, you're aware that there's still more work to be done, but you're also aware that there's a lot of progress that's been made. You're not tearing yourself down. Oh, why am I doing this? Oh, I can't do this. Things never go right for me. There is no more of that. It's more, oh man, I need, whatever it is. You got to identify that, but it's not as aggressively beating yourself up over stuff. Really fighting is this inner conflict, of believing in yourself, not believing in yourself, of positive thinking and negative thinking. Not this strong polarity anymore. At least a day or two before this. So Joe says, "Good morning, all. It's been a minute since I posted a dream here. That's because I haven't had one. I clearly remember in that time." Okay, hey Joe, start writing them down, man. Be very diligent and vigilant. Have you tried Tarak's tip? Saying out loud, "I'll remember my dreams before you go to sleep." Oh, yes, I have. Thank you. I attribute it more the good ganja leaves. Yeah, that'll definitely do it. As just taking a break for a couple of days made a big difference. Yeah, I bet. In my most recent dream, there was a lot going on. As I just felt like I was being pulled in several directions by different people. These were coworkers and different friends I've seen recently. But the details I can clearly remember is being in a new romantic relationship. I have not seen this person in real life. In the dream, I remember speaking with her and saying, "Oh, you're not playing? You are trying to do this for? Oh, you're not playing. You're trying to do this for real." She was very humble and hardworking. Later on, I asked her to meet me at the car. Why? But on my way to the car, the same thing started happening. And I was getting asked questions by several different people, and then realized I had left her waiting for a lot longer than I wanted to. I was disappointed, anxious, getting back to the car because of this. I woke up before I could remember how it handled it. Interesting, fascinating. So intuitively, I'm just kind of perceiving something on this, but essentially, there's a part of yourself that you're trying to reconnect, and it's a part of your subconscious. There's some sort of subconscious understanding that you have, or some sort of subconscious aspect that you've cultivated throughout lifetimes that you're trying to connect, get back, get reacquainted with, and have a deeper connection with, get intimate with it, get involved with it, start creating with it. And maybe not that far with this particular woman, who knows? But with yourself, yes, most certainly, your own soul is your soul. May remember that. That's the subconscious mind, the part of the yourself that uses the subconscious is the soul. And so, intuitively, I sense that it's probably related to, just your spiritual evolution, your soul growth. And then because of the way you just kind of showed up here and then had that dream. Hey, I haven't been here for a while. I've been smoking, so that's why I don't really feel like I'm going to remember my dreams. I've stopped for a couple of days and it made a big difference. Boom, here's a dream. So it's like, I'm trying to reconnect with myself, trying to get connected, but I'm getting distracted. There's things that are distracting me. There's things within my own mind that's kind of distracting me along the way. you know. So that's what I would suggest is identify those things in order to ensure that you establish that connection. Breaks are good. I stopped permanently a few years ago. Beautiful, beautiful. What does being at a familiar place in the past, grandparents' old house, that they had for the most part of my life, mean in a dream? Well, it depends on what you are associating with that place. Usually, if it's a familiar, it's a familiar place, so it's going to be a familiar state of mind that you are existing within regularly. What do you think of when you think of that place? Well, what does that place make you feel when you go to that place? What kind of state of mind were you usually in when you were at that place? Usually, if it's like a grandparent's house or an old family house, it's like a secure state of something like that. But maybe not. I mean, I don't know what happened in that house for you to make you feel what kind of way. But you have to identify that. Not everybody's grandparents. I mean, I have one set of grandparents that were absolutely nice to me when someone's there. I had another set of grandparents where I didn't know when, but I knew it was going to happen at some point. I was getting a switch or getting smacked. Something was going to happen. But I mean, I still, loved it there and actually dreamed of that grandparents' home more than anywhere else I dreamed as far as a physical place. But that's also that building was more in my life than any other building. Anyways, when it comes to an old house or houses you've used to own, you used to own, now represent that you're inside of the daily state of mind use relative to that time. Exactly. Familiar. It's a familiar place. Your state of mind. Family. Familiar. Or since your grandmother owned the house, if she has an important in this, then I'll say there's still things you can learn from because the receptive path was the blueprint to your existence. One of the experiences you've created can still learn from it, so you'll get to the next part, your purpose, etc. Okay. Females equals subconscious aspects, males equal conscious aspects. Car equals physical body life experiences. But to touch back on this, I would say it's mostly this. So this right here. So because she said, what does being at a familiar place from the past, grandparents' old house, mean in a dream? Now, if she would have stated that the grandparents were there, then we can start to incorporate things about the superconscious mind. But until the grandparents are actually there as a symbol, even if it's like, oh, I went in, there were photos, or I was thinking about them, or I was wondering where they were, I was waiting on. Unless the actual image is there, we aren't going to really get into the superconscious or anything like that. So it's mostly this right here. But that's good to understand that and try to incorporate. Remember, unless the actual symbol is there, it's not going to meaning it's because I mean the dream, subconscious mind can easily have you walk into your grandparents' home and your grandparents are sitting on the couch. Your grandparents are opening up the door for you. Your grandparents aren't even there. Your grandparents are toasters. You know what I mean? And your subconscious mind will create the images necessary for exactly what it's necessary. Image isn't there. There's a purpose for it. Okay. Oh yeah, female subconscious aspects, males conscious aspects, car, physical body life experiences. Okay, so you got your kids. The main thing you see recurring in this dream is people distracting you from your goals. Right on time. We know people in dreams means aspects to your own personality. So in a way, part of you is distracting you from your goals. This is more evident when you were trying to get back to the car to then gain control of your life. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And be more loving to yourself and be more involved in what's going on in your life. But remember, a dream means nothing unless you apply the message that it's giving you peace. Highlight. Okay, I was with my mom and dad in Romania in our old apartment. My mom wasn't feeling well. She was pooing on the bed and there was blood. Oh, wow, dang, mom wasn't feeling well at all. I started crying. So desperately, I couldn't breathe. I wanted to take her to the hospital. Then I started arguing with mom. I can't remember why. I started crying again. I couldn't breathe. I think she wasn't allowing me to do something, and I got angry. Okay, so again, this is coming up again. There's something going on with the superconscious mind of feminine qualities. So it's not that there is anything wrong with the superconscious mind. It's not like your spirit needs healing right now. It's your perspective of your spirit, your perspective of your relationship that you have with your spirit needs some attention. The current way in which you are seeing your inner self, your spirit, it's there's things that you're needing to let go. There's things that you're doing that are kind of draining you of life force energy. So, you know, continue to go deeper with meditation, which actually we touched on and we started doing later on. So it's funny that this dream probably came out around the time you started asking questions about meditation and started practicing meditation. So that's the number one thing I would have suggested right here is meditation. Connecting with your spirit and breathing. Breathing. It's funny because you say I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. That's exactly what you need to do if you want to connect more with your spirit. It's through the breath. The word spirare, it means breath. The word spiritus means breath. So your spirit is going to be the way to connect with that. It's going to be through your breath. Dang, I just remembered two pieces of dream from the other night. So I walked outside into my yard and I was surprised because the grass was tall. I said, I know, I just cut this grass, but it was like tall, tall. It hadn't been cut in months. Wow. Okay. So grass or any kind of plant growing out of the ground, the earth represents subconscious mind because like the subconscious or like the earth, the subconscious mind is very fertile. And whatever seed thoughts, whatever thoughts forms that you plant into your subconscious mind like seeds will seek to sprout and grow and become fruitful. Whether it's productive or unproductive, whether it's conscious or unconscious, it's positive or negative. And so there is something that being produced from your mind that there's some way in which you're using your mind that's actually manifesting things that may not be the most productive. It needs your attention. You cut it back, you trim it up, you need to shape it up, you need to get it together, trim the fat. There's like some work here and you're kind of aware that you need to continue to progress a little more how you're using it. All right, so apartment equals universal mind, mom superconscious mind, poop experiences or thoughts you no longer have a use for, bed assimilation, exactly, blood, life force energy, crying, mixed up or a lot of emotions being released. Main theme of this dream is sickness. Let's look at what sickness is. For one, physical sickness is when your body doesn't have the proper amount of vital nutrients and electrolytes to remain in physical stability. Number two, metaphysical sickness is when your thought patterns change to something negative or something that doesn't benefit you. And then that is then produced into it begins in the mental, is then produced in the emotional, and then results in the physical, if not taken care of. Beautiful. And I say all that to touch upon this dream is telling me you have something in your life, physically or not, that you don't want there and want to change. Exactly. So look in the past, today's, and really, so what is it that you can learn from? What is it that you can learn from and how to incorporate that into your life? And also try the chakra meditation Tarak share. That is awesome. Look at this. Kaz even suggested meditation. That is hilarious to me, man. You be on point, brother. Beautiful, beautiful. That's hilarious. Okay, grass equals thoughts. Grass represents sense thoughts. Exactly, because grass is just like your hair, thoughts. Grass represents thoughts, so when you cut grass, you're getting rid and shaping your thoughts to your desire. So when the grass grows back, that means those thoughts are coming back that you've cut off and got rid of. So cut them down again by concentrating what you want and not what you don't want. Exactly. Anytime I get a thought I don't want, I just say I will not entertain this possibility, or I picture my migrating that thought, or I picture migrating that thought and throw it into a fire. Beautiful. That's exactly what I do. I burn the image up. Thought is just an image. So anytime I have a thought of something I don't want, I burn the image up and then use the ashes from that the energy of the ashes from that to form a new image. Okay, I've been typing a lot lately. Wow, beautiful. It's good, man. You on point. Oh, all of February month has been incredibly stressful. I had to work very hard to save money to move. On top of that, I was stressed because I couldn't find a place to move into. Kept looking and kept waiting for answers from landlords. I even used the tarot cards to make sure I'm moving to the right place. Okay, I have also been upset that on the 15th was my birthday, but I couldn't have fun because I got sick in the stomach and threw up. Oh, happy birthday! I did drink but 3 glasses of rum in the course of 3 hours, which isn't much. So I got angry with myself and said, I'll take a break from alcohol, which I did, but the break was short. I did drink after that, but I don't drink to get drunk, just to relax from time to time. Okay, so I don't drink to get drunk. A lot of people, they either start out this way or they say that this is what they're doing. Um, it's for like a head change, to just put themselves into a different altered state of mind. But eventually, again, it becomes a way to cope in some kind of way. I do it to relax from time to time. I'm not able to control my mind enough to put me into a relaxed state of mind. I need some outer influence to help me to do that, to help simulate that for me. So that's important to understand. I had a new friend over. I had a new friend over. We talked, so at least I had a good time. I finally managed to move out in the out in the 28th, so all that stress is gone now. Beautiful. So I should be going back in track. I haven't been well lately with all the stress and anxiety going on. I had lots of negative thoughts, but also tried to be positive and not panic, even though even though I kind of did anyway. It was a hard month for me. I gave up on saying all those positive affirmations because they were causing me to have endless thoughts and couldn't fall asleep. I also gave up the chakra chanting. Not proud of it though, but now I have started chanting again. Not sure if I should continue with the positive affirmations as they are causing me too much thinking for some reason lately. Don't know why. I still smoke weed. Kind of want to give it up for some time, but can't find motivation. But I do but I do keep it under control and smoking less. I also have alcohol under control compared to the others. I don't drink like I used to, so there is a slight improvement, but this stressful month has taken me down. But I'll get back up again. I just need time. Okay, so when you are making progress, you're like, especially like progress like this, getting into, um, you know, becoming more concentrated, more focused, working on emotional stability, working on concentration, working on stress, keeping stress down or being aware of the thoughts, reprogramming your mind, especially with these chanting and things. That's reprogramming your mind. And so when you're doing these things, you're going to create an experience for yourself that is going to test you. And now it's not just to give you a test, just to see how you're doing. It's because you're going to be expanding and growing so much that the easy moment, like movement and things, that's just you putting in the practice. That's just you understanding the techniques. When the test comes up, that's you creating an opportunity for yourself to actually make the change. You can sit there and start meditating all day, every day. And then, you're meditating for 30 minutes every day, all day, every day for the last, 29, 30 days. And it's been great. It's been so easy to do. Oh man, I've been experiencing so much. I'm so much lighter. I'm so much more easygoing, but you're not actually changing. I mean, you are, but it's kind of baby steps. On that 31st day, you create an experience where your tire blows. You finally change your tire, get somebody to help you get your tire changed, get to work. You're late for work, you missed a meeting. Now you're behind on things, you have to catch up with things, and then, you were so distracted, caught up. Everybody went out to lunch without you. You get off work, you got a message from, your loved one. They're upset about something. You didn't answer none of their calls all day or texts all day. You know what I mean? And all this stuff is going on. It's like, man, what the fuck? I've been doing so well, and today just had me stressed out. And it's because you created an opportunity for yourself to actually break through and utilize what you've been practicing and now you have a chance to really implement it. It's easy to be at peace and be stress free when life isn't throwing anything stressful at you. The because really what you've been working on is just getting rid of the residual stress. You know what I mean? You've been feeling the effects of like the residual anxiety that's just always there, that's reverberating from the anxious event that happened. That's always building up. You know, the frustration so you had a frustrating experience. Yes, the experience is over, but you're still feeling frustrated. It may slowly dissipate until the next frustrating experience happens, but all those in betweens, you're still feeling frustrated in between those frustrating moments. So, that meditation that you were doing that was having a lot of progress and things, it kind of helped to alleviate the in between, the reverberation of that. So you aren't feeling frustration between this frustrating moment and this frustrating moment. You've erased that, but now you have to learn how to get through the next frustrating moment and get through that without being frustrated. Get through the next stressful experience and get through that without feeling stressed. Get through the next anxious experience and get through that without feeling anxious. So the real change is only going to come about once you've passed that test. A teacher of mine used to say, you've never actually changed until you go through a test. And that's what that means. Because that's the true thing of what you're doing. So just be mindful of this. Don't feel like you aren't having success, just because a trying time comes up and you didn't have the strength to face it. Because it's easy to remember to do your breathing techniques, when there's no need for them, no real need. It's a lot harder when that stressful time comes up, that frustrating time comes up, and that anxious time comes up. It's a lot harder to remember in that moment. When you're full of anger and rage, it's a lot harder in that moment to remember the techniques that help you get through that. So one, don't be so hard on yourself with that, but then also, you don't get discouraged. Don't feel like you aren't making progress just because you didn't pass that first test. You know what I mean? Like, have any of you, maybe throw up a little hand? Have any of you ever failed a test, like not passed a test in school? Like your whole time being in school, you ever had a bad grade? Or anybody ever had to like repeat a class? Gary, yeah. So if you got to repeat a class, if you take pre-algebra, your eighth, ninth, 10th grade year, you take pre-algebra and you don't pass, you went through the whole class, took all the tests and quizzes, did all the homework, or maybe you didn't. Maybe that's why you didn't pass. But you got to the finish line, didn't pass, you got to retake the test. You got to retake the class. Well, when you're going back through that class, day one is nothing like day one of the first time, right? So you've already progressed, even though it doesn't feel like you've progressed. Even I didn't move on. What do you mean I didn't progress, Tarak? I didn't move on. No, but you started over, and day one you have so much more knowledge. Everybody else in that class, that's their real day one. It's day one, part two. It's day 2.1 for you. So a lot of it's all going to be familiar, so where you can easily build upon it even more. To where then next time when that final comes, you are prepared for it. Because it's a whole new layer. It's sinking in deeper now. So don't feel like you're not progressing just because you didn't pass that test in life. I mean, because that test, if you didn't pass that test, don't worry. Give it a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months, a couple years. Maybe give it till next lifetime, whatever the test is. You know, but it'll come back around. And when it does, it doesn't mean you didn't progress. Because you did to some degree. Just by having the experience itself, there's some sort of level of progression that's had with that, even if that's the only way you will have progression and growth and continue to build upon. Don't get discouraged. Continue to build. Any thoughts or questions up until now? Anybody has? We've got a long way to go on this.
Nope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you said no. Okay. All right. Beautiful reflection. Moving houses is changing your daily state of being. So that puts you in a different place to experience and revitalize. What else I'll say is to eat high energy wielding foods. Exactly. Like fruits. Yes. Anything with fibrous foods, and try your best to think positive thoughts. You don't have to focus on your thought space all the time. Remember what you experience or see, hear, taste, feel, smell. It's a huge impact on what you think. Last thing, when you master your outer environment, you master your inner environment and vice versa. Absolutely. Really cool dream from last night. It started off with me living in like a halfway house for the mentally ill. I'm having some issues with some. You know what? I need to um, start going through and okay, here's where we started. Okay. Oh, okay. You're in here, but I still need thumbs up. Thank you. React to all these people's dreams so they know that it's an activity happening here. Your dreams are getting interpreted here, people. This is a little courtesy heads up. I wish it was easier. All right, all right. Oh, no, I'm interpreted here. We hit that one, we hit this one. Okay, all right, here we go. Hands clap, boom, clap hands. Let's go. I'll also go ahead and throw a heart in there too. All right, so let's start it over. Really cool dream from last night. It starts off with me living in a halfway house for the mentally ill. I'm having some issues with some of the residents, but I'm living with it. I'm in a city unfamiliar to me. I just moved to Washington State in real life and explore at night. I was going somewhere, but I don't remember where. I wander into someone's house and feel like something is wrong, so I leave. I ran into three girls during the daytime and have a friendly levitating Qigong battle with the Asian one. Oh, snap. I was more skilled in the air, so I dropped to the ground and showed her the pushing hands game. You put your hands together and push hands. Yeah. You put your hands together and push, trying to make the other person move their feet while I was sitting down. I got aroused and her friend performed a sex act on me. I go back to the house where I live and am at my car where my dad appears. He's telling me about how there was a murder the night before. And man, you went from the start of life to the end of life. He's telling me about how there was a murder the night before, and I guess to be careful, I don't think his lips were moving. There was some guys in a car next to me trying to figure out who committed the murder. I talked to one of them that walked by, and we did a handshake that could have been more if I was a gang affiliated, but he stopped. He stopped it when I didn't go along and chuckled walking away. I went back to the same house where I felt something was wrong and met this father and son in their long dirt driveway behind a fence. The house I went in was one on the lot, but not where they live. The son, who had bumps on his head where horns would go, wow, starts rapping and the father beatboxes. I try to make a beat pounding on the ground, but it doesn't seem to be going very well, so I stop. I end up in their house and a SWAT team shows up. Wow. I exit the house with my hands on my head and they start to question me. There's a woman cop that wanted me to prove I could do the Qigong stuff I said I did the day before, so I was starting to collect energy or something, but I woke up right before my alarm. Wow. Wow. What a powerful dream. What a powerful dream. So, wow, what a powerful dream. Okay. So, air represents, your thoughts. So, there's some level of mastery that you are stepping into in the awareness of your thoughts and being able to manipulate your thoughts. And energy in your dream is going to represent life force energy in regular life. So it sounds like you already practice qigong and tai chi maybe, and so there with that alone, there is going to be some sort of understanding that you are going to begin to develop about your own energy, how to move your energy and the flow of energy. And so that's evident in showing up. Your dreams are reflecting back to you that yes, the the understandings that you are experiencing and believe that you are attaining is real. You do understand how to move your energy. And this is like subconscious also. It's like building and creating new subconscious understandings. You are feeding this understanding into your soul because you're teaching this woman, how to do it. So it's like you're taking the understandings that you're receiving within life, the duty of the conscious mind, and then you're then feeding those understandings into the soul. You're teaching it to the soul. You're storing it into the soul so you can take it with you. The purpose of the conscious mind. And so and it's creating more energy to create even more things, so like sex represents creation, but with that, as far as then applying it into creating something new for yourself, evolving into something new for yourself, it's not actually doing that, because I mean, I'm assuming when you're saying she performed sex act on you, you know it's not necessarily planting the seed within the womb, if I may. So it's just kind of, you're just entertaining and toying with the idea of being different. So yes, you're harnessing more energy and elevating the power of your energy within you, but be sure to have a clear game plan on what you're going to do with that energy and what it's going to produce for you, and who you're going to evolve into because of it and because of what you do with it. And then it is changing. You are changing, but what is the cause of this change? You're trying to figure out who committed the murder. What is causing this change within yourself? you know and then the discipline shows up. Your the SWAT team, the police, the SWAT team is going to represent your discipline. So by through being disciplined, your disciplines are aiding you in identifying where this change is coming from, in not only having experiences of becoming more masterful with your energy, but also understanding the mechanics of how you are doing these things. That's where the discipline is coming in. The SWAT team's coming in and saying, "Hey, show us how to teach us." So you're teaching this to more parts of yourself. First, you're teaching it to the Asian woman. Now you're teaching it to the SWAT team. So you're using your energy to become even more disciplined than you already are. It's a beautiful dream. It's a beautiful dream. And again, you were teaching it to a woman, the subconscious mind. Again, this is such a beautiful dream. Powerful, powerful. You know what? It is powerful. We gonna give you the strong arm. What's that? Strong arm. It's almost bionic, the robot arm. All right. Wow, I had this powerful dream. It woke me up because it kept coming back very strong. And I know what caused it. I dreamed about being in a new home and I kept dreading the cards. And every time it said something like, "It's not good, me moving here." And it was like this invisible field that kept coming back to me and was feeling so heavy, annoying. It was hurting me in the ribs, and kept trying to take it away from me and throw it away, but kept coming back. And I really wanted to stay because couldn't leave anywhere due to circumstances, but also couldn't stay due to this annoying invisible thing that kept coming back to push me to leave. It was like I was trapped in a big invisible hand, or like an octopus. I couldn't get out and throw it away, but kept coming back. And I know exactly what it is. I think it is my thoughts or way of thinking. Something happened today and couldn't stop overthinking it and couldn't let go. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't let go. It was holding you back. Something that was holding you back. Someone made a complaint to the estate agency about smoking inside the house and music, apparently. I read the cards about it. I basically started obsessing about it and couldn't let it go. Because who does this? How low can you be? They could have walked to me. They could have talked to me about it, not immediately make a complaint. So I fell asleep stressing about it, and now apparently it's hunting me in my dreams. Wow. And decided to stop smoking weed yesterday, so I'm going to have an ambulance of dreams now, or an abundance of dreams now. I woke up because I kept shouting in my sleep. That thing wouldn't leave me alone, wouldn't let me be. Wow, I can't believe this. Ha ha. I hope I can go back to sleep now without any more disturbance from this invisible thing that kept hurting me and poking me. Yeah, yeah. And so, you want to identify the thoughts behind that were at the root of you feeling that way. The thoughts that you were having about that anonymous person, and the feelings that you were having from what they did, what was at the root of that? Why, what was causing you to feel that way about them? What was causing you to think those things about them? Because remember, we all create our own reality. You know, you you brought this experience onto yourself for a reason. Not I'm not saying the estate agency or anything that has to do with that. No, I'm saying there is something that you are wanting to become aware of in order to change and transform within yourself. And there has been a grace period to allow you to identify it on your own, but you're still not really grasping the need to change in this particular way enough on your own to where now you are creating an experience that is going to have an even greater stimulus to push you in the direction to take a look at it and make these changes. So that's what I mean by how why would you have caused this for yourself? Not like the menial physical things about it of like the of what all that is. No, I'm talking about like metaphysically, like what is like the whole pretty much the first thing that I said and the second thing that I said are two and one and the same thing. What was causing you to to do these things, and then facing what was at the root of that, what belief is at the root of 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 that. Facing that is why you had this experience in the first place, to push you to really face it and do something about it. It's one thing to like walk up to a garden and be like, man, this garden's full of weeds, and keep walking. you know, Being aware of it is one thing, but it's another to walk up and be like, man, this garden's full of weeds. You know what? Let's do something about it. Let's start pulling weeds. Let's create some space for some new life to come in, some new growth. I had to start doing chanting and positive affirmations to stop obsessing about it and stop thinking about it. I basically forced myself to stop, but now it's haunting me in my sleep. Good Lord, that was a powerful dream. I felt it. I also remember looking on the window constantly. Awareness, nice. So there is, and because there is a level of awareness, like you said, I already know what this is about. I already know what this is about. So the window, you're already aware of what's going on here. Hey, clap it up for Marcus. Yeah, roads, life paths, levitation, a form of being mentally free. Exactly. SWAT, police, beatbox, rapping, form of inner harmony. Exactly. Man, this is a powerful dream. It's telling me that you've been putting in work and getting your results. Whatever you're doing, keep it up, man. Congrats. Exactly. 100%. Let's throw a little 100% on there. I always see this as 100%, but I guess 100, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well, maybe we won't. We got 3, 2, 1 seconds. Oh, there it is. All right. New home, upgraded daily state of consciousness, big invisible thing. You limited yourself because you didn't see it, but toy felt it. It means it's invisible. What else is invisible in dreams, but still has an impact on your air, on you? Air does this creature will represent your limiting thoughts. Yeah, so did I misread that or dreamed about being in a new home? I kept reading the cards, and every time it said something like it's not good, me moving here, and it was like this invisible field that kept coming back at me. It was feeling so heavy, annoying. It was away from me. Oh, okay. I thought I thought maybe I missed something. Maybe I read it wrong. Let's see. The invisible thing, you limiting yourself because you didn't see it, but toy felt it means. Okay. I was like, toy, was there, did I miss a toy? Toy represents imagination, so I didn't know if there was something I missed. Um, that would have been very important. Okay, I just misread it. Okay. Your air does this creature will represent your limiting thoughts. This part of the dream is simply about you putting in the effort to change, but those harmful forces are coming back to use your concentration, visualization, and willpower to eliminate that part of yourself. Yeah, gotta change it. Gotta face it. Gotta make your own mental skills and tools more powerful than what's there. Hey, see, I didn't even have to say much. You got it on the bullseye. You know exactly what this dream is meaning. Exactly. Wonderful dream. Wait, yeah, let me keep let me hit this dream. This dream. Okay. I have another one. I dreamt I had sex with two men. One for them is a current friend of mine. One of them is a current friend of mine, which is a very calm and good person, but has zero emotions. And the other one, Aquarian, no, I'm playing. And the other one is a former neighbor of mine for when I was a child. From when I was a child. Ooh. We were good friends and we were spending lots of time together playing. He is a good, calm person, intelligent too. Both of them are intelligent. Ah, okay, so you're creating with your own intelligence to become even more intelligent. Beautiful. So apparently, I was having sex with them. No idea why. In order to create more intelligence for yourself, probably just to try. I was enjoying it. I felt repulsed by it and disgusted. I was naked. I think I remember I saw myself gagging. I felt like I had something in my throat. Disgusting it felt. Then after I did it, I regretted it, and I felt so ashamed. I remember saying, I don't think any amount of alcohol would have made me agree to that when I was trying to tell my friend not to tell anyone about it and to keep it a secret. Wow. Okay. So when are those feelings showing up? You know, what is it you're wanting to create within yourself? And you also need to be engaging the subconscious mind with it, so what is it that you're creating for yourself? And are you actually creating something or are you just kind of, how are you using your imagination, right now? What is it you are visualizing and seeing within your mind? And so in what ways are these feelings coming up when you're doing that? So maybe it's about what you are creating for yourself, and so you need to harness and refine how you're using your imagination. You're consciously choosing to create new aspects of your own personality to reach your goals, and you're not liking it is semi-lucid dream. To break it down even more, two equals duality. The two men will represent you using your conscious mind to send seeds to your subconscious mind to be brought to the physical. Remember, your conscious mind feeds the seeds into your subconscious mind. Absolutely. I dreamt that I was doing my hair with this hair foam, wave tech, and I was frustrated that it didn't turn out like the video. I was running my hands through my hair with this foam. Ah, so there's a way in which you are observing your thoughts and trying to continue to control the way you're thinking, making your hair have a certain style to it and running your hands through it. So there's, you're understanding the purpose for these thoughts that you're having. So you probably were doing a lot of um, mantras this day, I bet. Those mantras and affirmations and things were probably having a great effect on that day. This makes so much sense. Hair equals thoughts. You doing your hair is you shaping up. Okay, let's shaping up and controlling your thoughts. Video equals visualization. So to visualize how you want your thinking patterns to be like, but it's not as easy as you were hoping for. What I'd say to do is to keep trying to focus or on 1 to 5 possibilities that you want in your life and just focus on that. Turn it into a concentration exercise. Absolutely. Yeah, but it's hard because my thoughts are about the people I live with, where I recently moved, and they are horrible people. They tried to get me in trouble. But every time I think about it, I try to stay positive affirmations. I try to say positive. Exactly. So the thoughts aren't really coming out how you're wanting, but you do have a purpose for what you're trying to do. Yeah, these thoughts here about the other people aren't really how you're wanting, but you're still continuing to do the work and you have a purpose for how you're using your thoughts. Absolutely. Okay. 3-3, I dreamt I was giving my friend a ride home and went completely in the wrong direction. And I couldn't get the navigation to put in the right address. There was a portion of this dream that included a variety of desserts. Nice. So, going down a road and moving down a road in your dream is going to represent the progress in that you're making in the direction that you're going in life. And so you went completely in the wrong direction. You couldn't get the navigation to put in the right address. So there's a way in which you're realizing, man, I'm kind of heading in the wrong direction. I'm not really going where I'm trying to go, and I'm having trouble turning things around, which is pretty much what you explained earlier on what you were experiencing. So it's fascinating, that you've definitely identified, whether either consciously seeing it or unconsciously, exactly what the dream is trying to convey to you. So it's good you got the message, and you're doing things to implement that message. Beautiful. I dreamt I was at my old job with my old boss, and a coworker who betrayed me was there. Then I dreamt I was sitting by the water eating a meal. Oh, this must be the dream you're talking about. Then I was sitting by the water, dreamt I was sitting by the water eating a meal, and a girl was frustrating with me for taking a picture of the food because she just wanted to eat it. Okay. So food in a dream will represent, the knowledge that you're receiving from the life lessons that you're learning in life. And taking a picture is a visualization, really wanting to, so you're having life experiences, you're learning from them, and that the things that you're learning is causing you to really visualize and see how under creating these understandings, the effect it's going to have on your life, the future things that you're wanting to experience through it and because of it. It's awesome. First dream, road equals life path, directions on the road, your direction and the path to life you choose. This dream is telling you, oh, thank you. This second segment is brought to you by Waterloo. No, I'm playing. Uh, this dream is telling you, you went in the wrong direction in life and is trying to find the right one. Exactly. Second dream, work, use productive state of mind. Female, subconscious aspect, ball, superconscious aspect, water, life's experiences, food, knowledge. And yeah, another thing about this, him laying it out like this, that I want to point out is the subconscious and the superconscious mind are both there. It's like almost your whole mind is there. Let's see. Oh wait, Joe lost. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if there was a regular guy there also, because then it really would have been your whole mind. You want to pay attention to that, like when there's multiple symbols that represent the different parts of mind, the different divisions of the mind, conscious, superconscious, and subconscious, especially when all three are showing up in a dream. Definitely want to pay attention to that. Because that's like you're utilizing your whole mind now on all fronts. They're coming together. We're unified. This dream seems to be relative to the first one because first old things like jobs would still represent productive state of mind, but you've already existed there. And in the first dream, you were trying to find your direction in life. That's where that part of you who betrayed you comes into play. Exactly. Like you see that woman as betrayal, doing things that are not in your best interest. And so it's showing up. So it's like, you're going in the wrong direction. And it's because you're, doing things that aren't in your best interest. And so what say, what I say do is first do the long breath more often. Yeah, that'll get more clarity for you. And when you do it, ask yourself questions about what is it you want to do in life. That image of what you think your perfect self is, and work to become that image. Exactly. Thank you, Kez. It's an ongoing process. Beautiful. All right. It happened again with that scary dream. I dreamt, man, we're only on the 5th of March. Jesus. We might not get through all. Yeah, we might not get through all. Okay, let me see. Yeah, we're gonna have to table this. Come back to it. Okay. Yeah, let's stop here for today. And later this month, I might do another segment later this month. Get to all these. It's like 4 times as many as we've already gone through. All right. So, any thoughts on any of those dreams that we went through? Or questions? All right, excellent. Well, let's wrap for tonight. And you know, of course, if you have any like real pressing dream, it's like, hey man, I really need your attention. This one. Tag me to it or put it in send me a direct message with it or something. Sometimes like I try to get to these dreams, but sometimes like when it's this many, it's just like, man, I feel so overwhelmed. It's That's why I try like I try to keep up with them the best I can. Like all the other messages I try to keep up with. Sometimes when the dreams get too far behind, I'm like, oh, man. I think what I'm going to start doing here is start addressing the ones that Kez isn't addressing because he's on point with all of this. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit more that I can provide for you than what he's already saying, but yeah, I think that's what I'm going to start doing. That way, we can at least make sure everybody's dreams are getting addressed. Right. All right, but well, let me see. Let me see. Okay, here's where we left off. Happen again? Okay, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, it's still a lot. I was trying to see how many of the dreams weren't Dee Dee's. If it was like 2 or 3, we would just go ahead and hit those and then come back to the rest of hers. But maybe that's what we'll do next time. Is if she has like a ton, hit everybody else's and then just start see how many of hers we can get. Which is good. It's beautiful. But it's also, this many dreams, we should be spending a lot of time, understanding, it for ourselves, being able to interpret a lot of things. Like coming with like, hey, you know what? I'm having trouble with this. Like my former mentees, from like years ago, it started out like I've one like that are really here, like were mentees for a long time, a year ago. One that started back in 2020, another started in 2021, another started 2018, 2017. And then of course, before I started doing mentorships, my students, a lot of my former students, they all still come to me for dreams. But it's just every once in a while. It's like, man, you know what? I've been trying to figure out this one. I need your help. So after a while, like with Kez, Kez don't hardly throw no dreams in here. He's interpreting them himself. But every once in a while, he'll ask, hey, well, I need some help with this one. So we should be getting to a point where it's kind of like that now. But she's got a lot of other things that she's focused on. I'm just painting that picture so that you all can have that kind of expectation for yourself. Continue to, the more you have that belief, the more you'll go to it. You got to see. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, you're welcome. That's all that said. Thank you. Chat, you're welcome. You guys are always welcome. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all showing up. Definitely, because y'all to show up probably would just skip over it. So at least we end up doing it to where the other people will have something to view. Because I know a lot of people, y'all end up catching this on the replay. So definitely thankful for you all, so that I actually do it and give people a replay to watch. Yeah, so thank you again, everybody. I appreciate y'all. In between the months, if you have any questions on like exercises or techniques or things, feel free to ask. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, peace, peace. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, and I'll see y'all next week. Life force exercise, life force and chakras.
Now I guess I can take that room.